behind the scenes. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I was just going to show off the differences between what I'll call the first generation clock and the second generation clock. So the biggest thing, this one is a lot bigger than the other ones. It's probably total about 2 inches taller and about 2 inches wider. I think this one's about 10 and this one's about 12. I did a lot different too with the top and the bottom accents. On the new clock, I kind of wanted more of an Asian, Japanese influenced style. So I cut these big chamfers on the top and bottom, compared to this one, which is more of just a general shaker type clock. Everything else though is pretty much the same. I did the face the same, ambrosia maple with walnut inlays. And that's really about all the differences. This one, of course, has the door inset into the case, whereas this one just sits on the front of the case. But I'll bring the camera in and show you a few more details on the newer clocks and stuff that I think is pretty cool. Okay, so you can see on the bottom here, the bottom is not a solid piece like it is on this clock. Originally I had wanted it to be a solid piece, but the more I thought about it and how hard it would be, like it was on the old clocks, to get it to be level, because you got to have the whole piece perfectly flat. It's a lot easier to make this level because you can just shave off a corner if you need to make it sit flat. So it's just 2 pieces, and then on the bottom, hopefully you can see, it's just got 2 other kind of stretchers in between the front and back pieces. So that kind of supports the front and back. And another detail on this clock that I really like is I wanted it to look like the case was floating in between the top and bottom. So I made it so that it sits about a 1/16 of an inch up off of the bottom piece, and the top piece sits about a 1/16 inch up off the top. I think it looks a lot cooler than if it was just sitting right down on the bottom. It kind of breaks up the overall case a bit better and draws more attention to the actual case instead of the accents on the top and bottom. And how I did that was, on the bottom I cut, basically, if you can picture from a solid piece like this that's the stretcher in between the front and back, I cut a rabbet on each side that was a 1/16 inch deep, so that I had a little 1/16 inch strip sticking up on the top. And then I just put 2 dowels in there, and so it sits up on top of that little 1/16 inch piece, so that it sits off of the front faces right here. And same thing with the top, I just cut 2 1/16 inch thick pieces of cherry and just epoxied those to the top piece so that it lifts it up off the top of the case. And I'll try to zoom in so you can see what it looks like under there. Okay, so hopefully you can see that well. You can see the 2 little pieces that the top panel is sitting on to lift it up off of the top of the case right here. This gives it that little shadow line and creates the effect, if you can't see those 2 little pieces, of the top floating above the case. And another little detail that I kind of like is so with these big chamfers on the top accent piece, you can actually see the top of the dovetails, which is kind of cool. It kind of sucks though if you don't exactly cut your dovetails perfect, because everybody can see your mistakes. But I think it looks cool, and I left the tails a bit proud of the top, so it looks cool, and I tried to leave the pins a bit proud of the front. So I think it looks cool. It just lets you see a little bit more of how it's actually made than it would otherwise. And I believe that's about it. So I'll zoom out again. And give you one last little side-by-side look at both of the clocks next to each other. And then I'll just cut in some little clips at the end showing off a little bit closer detail of the new clock. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video showing off the new clock, and I'll see y'all in the next one.